So today I am here to introduce you to the new Kase Armour magnetic system. I'm pretty excited about this because it's an absolute game changer in the world of filters. There's nothing else in the market out there like it, and this is really revolutionary. So I've been using Kase Filters for a couple of years now. One of the main reasons it made me change was how well designed their K9 100mm holder was. Really well designed, easy to disconnect magnetic CPL, and also there was no vignetting, even using it on my wide angle lens 16 to 35. And then I also really have enjoyed using their magnetic set. I use this system when I go out hiking. It's great because it's small, especially if I'm going on multi-day hikes. It's got everything I need in it, CPL, NDs and an adjustable brad. But you just can't beat the professionalism of using a full 100 square system. So yeah, I was pretty excited to get this, and yeah, I want to show you guys how it works today. So I've gone ahead and unboxed it just to speed things up a little bit, but everything is contained in this really handy filter bag that you can obviously carry around with you. You can attach it to your tripod, or it's got straps as well. Now the only thing that you will need to attach to your lens in terms of screwing is this magnetic adapter ring. It comes both with a 77 and an 82, and then it also comes with additional screwed adapter rings for 67 and 72mm lenses. This, as I said, is an 82mm lens, so I'm just going to attach this now. So like I said, it's nice and easy to attach because there's quite a lot of overlap. And that's because they've gone with a 95mm CPL and circular ND filters. That will help hugely with any vignetting if you've got a wide angle lens. Now a little trick when you're unboxing is when you come to the circular filters is to realise that the CPL and the 6-stop are actually attached together. So don't think you're missing a filter, it's actually, they're actually attached. So before you put the holder on, you do actually need to attach the CPL to the back. Just magnetically connects. Now you watch how quickly this holder grabs on to that. It's literally almost pulls it out of my hands, and then it's just solid on there. There's also a little snap, a clasp at the back which you can push down for added security, but that really isn't going anywhere. And then you can add your other filter at the front, so whether that's a 6-stop, which comes with the entry kit, you can also get 3 stops and 10 stops. And again, you just need to watch for the writing, and that it'll be pretty obvious when you come to put it in if it's repelling the magnet which way around it is. So that's good to go. Now, what I love about this kit is these magnetic frames around the grads. I can see huge benefits in terms of it making them more robust in case you do accidentally drop it. It's happened to the best of us, and generally the edge of the glass doesn't really survive too well if you do that, but I can see this being a real benefit. Now again, it's just quick and easy to just snap that on. It just goes on just really quickly. Now if you want to, you can also tighten this up on the side for extra security, but it's really not necessary, and then obviously you can move it up and down. I'd probably release it off a little bit because it's easier to move then. And then you'll still have this little dial on the side that helps you rotate your CPL. Now one other thing that Kase have cleverly thought about is introducing these little magnetic frames, and that's so that if you've got existing grads or existing square ND filters, you can continue to use these. So I went ahead and opened up one of these magnetic frame boxes. I'm just going to quickly put this frame together so you can see how that works. Now probably when you do this you are going to get fingerprints all over your filter, so you'll just want to clean that afterwards. You don't have to pull the whole frame apart, you just need to loosen the screws off enough so that you can push that down and secure that in there. So if you want to, you can actually still attach 2 magnetic frames to the front of this holder. So that's another added benefit, so you can still use your existing. Now just got to figure out which way around this is. Oh, and there we go. Again, it pretty much grabs it off you to tell you that you've got that the right way around. So again, you can continue to use an ND and a grad on the front if you prefer, if you just want to buy perhaps the holder to upgrade your kit with. Now, one other thing I was thinking was surely a system like this is going to be much bigger, much bulkier, much heavier. And that's not the case at all. Funnily, that's the K9 holder, and you can see by comparison it's almost an identical size, and in terms of the weight difference it's actually only about 30 grams. When you are busy in the field and you are carrying, like, you know, kilos of camera equipment, 30 grams really is not going to break the bank. So in terms of moving around, you obviously can take the whole lot off in one go. I would obviously recommend putting that all back in the bag, but then you can just attach this red lens cap for travel, and it means that when you come to your next location, it's as quick as that, and you're good to go. You never need to miss another brilliant opportunity where the sun is or the light is changing really quickly. So yeah, very, very cool case. You have really impressed yet again with your R&D, and I'm super excited to take this out in the field and give it a go. Okay, so here we are out in the field, and I'm going to be testing out the new Kase Armour Kit. The reason why I've chosen this spot, it's one of my favourite local spots for a start, but also because it's a really good place to show off how the circular polarizer works in the water. You can also slow the water down with an ND filter using a longer exposure, and also you can see just how bright the sky is behind me here. So that's where having a graduated filter really does come into play. So hopefully I'll be able to show that off in some of my shots coming up. Okay, so I want to take a variety of shots now just to show how these filters will work and improve your photography while you're out in the field. I've taken a shot without any filters on whatsoever. I've got a lot of reflection and bright light, and also the sky's very bright. It's quite hard to get a well exposed shot. So I'm just going to add my CPL on, my polarizer, and that basically will enable me to take some of the glare and reflection out of the water. So you could just rotate the dial and that changes the effect. So you can go from having full reflections to very reduced glare and reflections by moving that around. And particularly here I actually like doing that because it enables you to see the lovely river weed and the lovely colour of the water down below. However, it's still quite bright in the sky, so that's where I would add the graduated filter on, and now obviously we'll just snap that on magnetically, make sure that that's actually in place. I haven't actually got that out properly, so let's do that. There we go, and straight away I'm able to just darken that sky off a little bit to make it not quite so bright. You can obviously then rotate your polarizer again. You can do a shot with the full reflections, or you can do a shot with the polarizer rotated just to take those reflections out and allow that underneath the water to kind of be seen a bit better. Now the last thing I'd like to do, which will require me to take the graduated filter off, is just to, oh, I've got a whole lot of bugs flying around my face, which is not ideal, is actually just to add the ND filter on. And the reason for that is it's actually quite a nice effect to blur the water. The river's actually quite slow moving, but it is moving, and so adding this ND filter into the holder and then adding my graduated filter back on again will mean that I can actually slow the shutter speed right down and give a slightly different effect to the water. So I'm now able to shoot at around about probably, if I go up to f11, I can shoot at about 20 seconds, which just really slows, let's go for 13 actually, which just really slows the effect of the water and gives it a nice blur effect. So we'll just wait for that to finish, and then when we get back and I'm able to pop those up on the screen, I will show you the different effects and talk you through how that was all done. So there you can see the Kase Armour Kit. It's an amazing revolution in terms of the design and how it handles in the field. I can pretty much you know, take stuff off one-handed if I so choose. I can take the whole kit off, or I can just take the graduated filter off. That's the whole kit all in one, and then I could easily just transport it to the next place by sticking this lens cap on, and then when I get to my next location I will be good to go. So now that we're back at the office, you can have a look at these shots on screen and just see how the results differ from using the filters. So this first shot on the left is no filters, and the one on the right is where I've added the CPL. So this naturally allows you to reduce the reflections in the water if you want to, but more importantly, you can see just how much more vibrant the greens and blues are of the CPL, because it just naturally enhances existing colour tones. It's particularly good with blues and greens, which is why I love using it around rivers and forests and waterfalls so much. But we do still have the issue where the sky is quite bright. And you'll remember at this point I added the graduated filter in, and that of course does make a big difference when it comes to the sky. You can see here on the shot on the right now compared with the one on the left that it's a much more well exposed scene. So some people do prefer to exposure bracket their images, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but I actually prefer to get one single shot which is really well exposed. It makes it a lot easier when it comes to editing down the track, to only have to edit one shot. Obviously it takes up less space on your image library rather than having two raw files to work with, and sometimes doing a bracket doesn't work if you've got moving scenes in your shot too. So the last thing I did was obviously add a 6-stop ND filter, and that you can see that in the shot on the right. There's a lot more blur in that shot in the water, and it just gives a different effect. It allows you to be a little bit more artistic with your images. Not saying that any one shot is better than the other, but just to have the ability to choose between the two gives you much more artistic freedom, which I love. So yeah, I hope you can see from these images that the filters make a massive difference to the results that you can achieve. And yeah, I've been so impressed with this Armour kit. I'm really excited that Kase Filters have introduced this, and I can't wait to get out and use it more on the field. So you can get the Armour entry kit and or the holder kit, 6-stop, 3-stop, 10-stop and magnetic frames. They're all available at Kase Filters today, so go and check them out.